back to the Pylon Cam YouTube channel. I'm your host, Mike, and welcome back to another mock draft video. Those are my dogs, Tucker and Tater Tot, having some fun before I started recording. And I just wanted to, before I start the mock draft, why I link my social media is because I don't know everything about all of these teams, and as a fan of a team, you're going to know more about it than I am, because I can't watch every game every week. I can't read every article about everything, so that's why it's there, because I want you guys to tell me what I need to know to produce a better take on all of the teams. I can't do it by myself, so I really need you guys. A few of you have. I got some people repping the Dolphins and the Cardinals, and to those guys, I'm super thankful because they've showed me some stuff about the Cardinals and the Dolphins that I didn't know before. So, with all that being said, let's go ahead get into this mock draft. And with the first pick, we have the Jacksonville Jaguars. For me, we're still not going to do we're not going to do trades in any of this just yet. I just don't think they're reasonable. The order's still not even finalized. So much could happen in the offseason. Trades are just, as of right now, fake. They're just like, we could think through potentials for the locked teams, but still, we have no idea what's going to happen in free agency. We have no idea what's going to happen after the Super Bowl, any of that stuff. So, with pick 1, we have the Jacksonville Jaguars, and they are taking Evan Neal. They need someone to protect Trevor Lawrence, and I think they do need weapons. Someone was commenting on the videos that the Jaguars should take a wide receiver or trade back. And if Jamar Chase was in this class, I still don't know if I would take Jamar Chase number 1 overall, but then you have a compelling argument because let me just pull it up because I always forget to pull it up before the videos. The Jaguars have I believe the third best cap situation. Third best with $72 million. They could buy some pieces for the offensive line, but I think it makes more sense with how loaded this free agent wide receiver class is to just get Evan Neal, who's going to play for 10 years. You're going to get him on the penny, and just go buy some weapons for Trevor Lawrence. Marvin Jones was playing fine at the beginning half of the season. We saw what Trevor Lawrence could do with the veteran presence, and then Urban Meyer just screwed everything up. So do with that what you will. Pick number 2 is the Lions. I'm going to go with Kayvon Thibodeau here just because I think I'm a big person who I'm not a big person, but I am a big believer in not overreacting. That is one of the biggest things when I do power rankings or anything like that. I try not to overreact at all. And I've seen a ton, and this pick has nothing to do with it, a ton of overreaction to the Aiden Hutchinson Georgia game. That, everybody's just clowning Aiden Hutchinson now, and it's dog, it's one game. And it was one bad rep that you all saw on Twitter and are now saying he's bad. Let's not lose our heads here. His floor, in my opinion, is still much higher than Thibodeau's. I think his ceiling is a little bit lower than Thibodeau's, but I think the bust potential for Thibodeau is way higher than Hutchinson. But I want to mix it up a little bit, and in some way I can. And this is a way I could do it. And I think this pick is very logical. They're probably going to take one of the two, in Aiden Hutchinson or Thibodeau. It really is preference for the team. Do they want the more athletic guy, a little bit more bendy off the edge, or do they want someone who just I don't really know how to describe Aiden Hutchinson without using the word dominant, just because he's so he's very efficient, he's very productive, and he is kind of like a jack of all trades. He's strong, great hand placement, great bend off the edge. He just does everything, whereas Thibodeau is just more of a freak athletically, in my opinion. Pick 3 is the Texans. Texans. I think you got to take offensive line. Just because, you have Laramie Tunsil and Marcus Cannon. They're not healthy, and you're paying them boatloads of money. You're going to need someone. You're either going to need to trade one or do something. I don't know what their contracts look like. Do something in free agency if you can to alleviate some of that cap space. You could take Stingley or Hamilton, but you still have a gaping hole at offensive line if you let it go unaddressed. Now, my counter argument for my own argument would be these guys right here They're not available anywhere in the draft after this. But these guys are all over the draft. Like, that would be my counter argument of you could really address offensive line anywhere. However, if you're dead set on it and you really think you need to get QB out of here, like, what? Draft Network? I don't know. I think you could go line, and they don't have it listed as nearly as high of a need as it actually is. It just depends. Like, do you want? Because the good thing with being a bad team is you could address anything, which is the bottom line. They could go Stingley and it's a good pick. They could go Hutchinson and it's a good pick. They could go safety and it's a good pick. I think with Hutchinson still here though, like if Thibodeau was here and you get scared of like some. I'm interested to see how some GMs evaluate Thibodeau, as in like the things we're not going to see on ESPN. The things behind closed doors when it comes to Thibodeau. Because there is definitely the upside, and there definitely is the monster ceiling. But I feel like the bust potential is very, very real. But with Hutchinson here, I think if I was the Texans, I would feel a lot safer if I wanted to go edge and taking Hutchinson at 3 as opposed to Thibodeau. Jets at 4. They have, what's his face, who tore his Achilles before the season started. If you're a Jets fan, comment. He was like your big free agency signing. I'm forgetting his name. He tore his Achilles before the season started, and their D-line was fine. Like, it wasn't anything special. They need edge help, but they have it. It's just not playing right now because it's hurt. Definitely could address it later on. I think if I was the Jets, I'd probably go tackle or corner. And again, like I would make the same argument of like, you could go corner, you could go tackle really anywhere in this draft as long as you address it before this, like as in the second round or even at pick 10. If you want to take, what's his face, Derek Stingley or Kyle Hamilton, I really do think if Kyle Hamilton is going to be Derwin James, like just take him where you want him. That's kind of my stance on him. But I do understand the hesitancy in taking a safety that high. So I kind of hear both sides of the argument for Kyle Hamilton. I think he's that good of a prospect. I truly do. Because he's a better prospect than Derwin James. I just don't know if at pick 4, because you're going to get him probably at pick 10. Like the Giants aren't going to take him. Panthers won't take him. Falcons won't take him. And Broncos won't take him. Unless someone trades up, then you're kind of screwed. But I think if at pick 4, I think Stingley does make a lot of sense, just with how rich the O-line class is. Now, for the Giants and how bad their offensive line is, you can't gamble on anything. Like, you got to take who you want and let it be that. Like, I wouldn't even advise trading back for the Giants, because even though they could probably trade pick 7 back and still get Linderbaum if they trade back to, like, pick 10 or something, if you get greedy and screw that up, like, your offensive line is so bad, like, just take the players who you know will be there for 10 years. Like, Ike Mekwonu, if he's here at pick 5, like, he's got to be gone. Just has to be. This dude is so freakishly fast and strong. Like, any play, like, when I do my evaluations, I watch the whole game tape. I don't watch just the highlights, which I think should go without saying. Like, if you're going to do an evaluation of someone, like, why would you watch just the good? And that dude is so strong. Like, he just, like, it will pull and just, like, tap someone, and they just, like, dude, it's like he has the Force from Star Wars. Like, I don't know how else to describe it. Like, he is so strong and so fast. It's really insane. Pick 6 is the Panthers. I don't know, man. Like, I really just think, like, of these quarterback prospects, I think the one I would want, if I'm the Panthers and I'm in the Panther situation, I'd want Malik Willis only because I know I'm going to give Sam Darnold. Well, actually, I don't know that. If Sam Darnold plays another year, I'd take Malik Willis. If I'm picking someone to start next year, I'm taking Kenny Pickett. And, like, I'm very, 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 very low on Desmond Ridder. I think that Alabama game kind of just reassured everything I already believed. Dude just processes really slow. Stares. Like, go back and watch how many balls or passes got defended at the line of scrimmage or by the cornerback just because they knew it was coming like 10 seconds before it was. Obviously, 10 seconds is an exaggeration. But seconds before it was thrown because he's just staring. He literally just stares. And, like, at the next level, it's not going to, like, that's not going to fly. So, I don't know, man. But the athleticism with Desmond Ridder definitely is there. Like, that, I feel like that was on display. And like, to Desmond Ridder's credit, like, when he did go through his progressions and he did make some nice, he made some crazy throws, actually, that were dropped. The one in the corner of the end zone near the front pylon on the right side. Another one that got dropped. He was like, his arm talent definitely flashed, and ball placement definitely flashed. I just have a lot of concerns to take him at 6, is what I'm kind of trying to say. And with Matt Corral, like, I feel like the same thing. Like, a lot of people are starting to speculate. And I know there's a lot of Matt Corral truthers out there, but, like, I'm a firm believer in there's 3 sides to every story. Your side, the other person's side, and the truth. So the argument now for the anti-Corral truthers is he just an RPO monster? And I think there is a lot of validity to that, where in a different system he might suck, putting it frankly. I don't think he will. I'm just saying, at least how my brain works, if new information is coming out on something, I have to read it, and then evaluate my options. And if that's true, like, then, like, he needs to go to a team like the Broncos or something like that. Where with the Panthers, I feel like the Panthers need to be a more pass-first team. Just, like, being honest, I don't think they're gonna. I don't think they're gonna have McCaffrey next year, and if they do, they can't give him the same workload, especially in the running game. Like, they just need to pass to him out of the backfield. Like, he's got to take. Now, before you rip my head off for saying this, but it would make a lot of sense for him to take a Brandon Bolden type role in that offense. Not just playing third downs like Brandon Bolden does in the Patriots, but that type of threat. Just for his longevity. It's not anything against his talent. For his longevity. But I think Sam Howell will be a good pick for the Panthers. I don't know. I just think with so much uncertainty in this quarterback class, right? It's really hard for me to justify taking a quarterback this early. Because I think the most certain quarterback is Kenny Pickett. In my opinion, for certain. He's definitely the most pro-ready. Will be all right day one. And, like, look at last year's draft class. Like, they all got annihilated. Except for Mac Jones and Davis Mills, really. They were way better prospects than these guys, like, way better. So I don't know, man. If I'm the Panthers, I kind of just talked myself into this. I think I would just take the next best tackle available because you need one anyway. And Charles Cross, if you do evolve into that pass-first offense, Charles Cross is going to be probably is neck and neck with Evan Neal in terms of pass blocking. Charles Cross's scheme fit is an air raid offense. And I really think with DJ Moore, Robbie Anderson, Terrace Marshall, who maybe with new offensive coordinator could break out, like, they got weapons, man. I just don't know. I don't know if QB right here is your pick. Pick 7 is the Giants. Like, I could see them trading it back. But again, with how bad the offensive line is, like, just to hear someone say, like, about the Giants, right, that offensive line is so bad that it has 1 starter and 4 players who should not be in the NFL. Not starting should not be in the NFL. Like, I don't see how you could ever gamble that pick, is my opinion. Like, if you trade it and Linderbaum, for whatever reason, someone trades up for him and snags him from you, like, that's your center of the future gone. Like, yeah, there's still the avenue where you trade back and maybe you trade pick 10 or pick you trade back to pick 10 or pick 11, someone who wants a quarterback or something, or maybe the Vikings see Kyle Hamilton still on the board and they want to jump up and get him. You still run the risk of not getting Linderbaum. And I think for the Giants, like, that is a player you just need to have. Now, again, there's still, like, it's not the end of the world. You could get Kenyon Green or something, but I just feel like Tyler Linderbaum is going to anchor. Wherever he goes, he's just going to anchor that team forever. Like, if he's as good as everybody thinks he's going to be, and I subscribe to that, like, why are you going to gamble on that? It's a certainty. Why would you gamble on a certainty? That's just how I think about it. You could trade back. Like, to me, that's greedy. And whenever you're greedy, very more often than not, it doesn't work. Think about this, right? If you sports bet, because when we go back to doing the podcast, I had to take a break because of work. It started picking up really heavy. But think about this, right? Think about how many parlays you made that would have hit if you didn't just reach for that extra leg. Like, that is what I would imagine the Giants be doing. They're like, all right, we know Linderbaum probably will hit, and we could just add 2 more picks to get it and get Linderbaum. And then they're gonna trade one spot too far back, and it's gonna be gone. Like, I know it's gonna happen. If there's certainty of something, just go for it. And you know you need it. Like, that's just how I look at it. Falcons at pick 8, so Stingley's off the board, which is someone who's commonly fell. I need to do more research into Karlaftis. I know, like, everybody on the internet hates Karlaftis, and I kind of am not in the hatred camp for Karlaftis, but I really don't see all the hype with Karlaftis. I truly do not. I get he's productive, and I get he's efficient, but he's so one-dimensional, right? With Thibodeau, Ajabo, and Hutchinson, there's so much more dimensions to their football game than Karlaftis, right? Now, the NFL seems to be like super, super, super high on Karlaftis. And someone just sent me a tweet, and I'm sorry, I have to look at it. What is this? It's about a mock draft. For reference, right? Like, probably the player I'm the highest on in this class is Ike McQuanu. I really think he should go number 1 overall. I think at pick 5 he's underrated, like undervalued. In one mock draft I think I've talked about with the Giants, because a lot of Giants fans will say, like, yo, we need edge. And I just think, as someone from the outside looking in, like, you need O-line. But if you're going to go edge and you want to go O-line, my ideal pick is like a McQuanu and David Ajabo. And someone just sent me in Mel Kiper's latest draft, the Giants took Ekwonu at 5 and Ajabo at 7. So there you go. A little bit of faith in your boy Mike that he knows what he's talking about. At pick 8, I don't know, man. I think if you're going to go edge, it's got to be Ajabo. I'm so, again, Kiper has him at 7. I think he's so much better than Karlaftis. I really think he could be the best edge rusher in the class once he develops. He's only been playing football for about 5 years, and he went from second-round prospect to top 10 in one season, being a starter. I think that kid is going to be so, that kid's going to be so good at football, dude. I'm telling you, if he develops and gets the proper development, he's going to be good, man. I'm telling you, he's going to be way better than Karlaftis, and he might be better than Thibodeau, and you're getting him at 8. Anyways, pick 9. Now, in RP, again, we go back to the RPO god. I would take Matt Corral, but I really like Sam Howell over Corral to the Broncos, being honest. Just because, again, I say this every time. Howell was balling out with De'Ami Brown, Javonte Williams, and Michael Carter at Chapel Hill. They all leave. His offensive line leaves. He sucks. To me, that's okay. That doesn't scream to me he sucks. It just screams to me he needs support. Now you're going to give someone I'm super high on that everybody seems to have given up on as of recent is Jerry Jeudy. Dude has not had a quarterback since he's entered the NFL. I don't care what anybody says. You give Sam Howell, Jeudy, Tim Patrick, Cortland Sutton and you give him back Javonte Williams and that offensive line, which is not bad, I think if taking Sam Howell at 9, specifically to the Broncos, is the only pick I would make top 10 for Sam Howell. He's got a good arm. He does have a good arm. He reminds me a lot of Baker Mayfield, but he's way more athletic. Seems to have better touch on a downfield throw. But anyway, pick 10 is the Jets. I think at pick 10 you got to go Hamilton. However, I keep forgetting to say this in videos, and I've said it in past videos. I do think the Jets need a wide receiver. They need one so bad for Zach Wilson. They have Elijah Moore, so you got your slot guy, right? This is a pick, like, if you don't want Hamilton, which I think you should get him because you need, like, Marcus may leave, and you really do need a good safety in the NFL as the schemes kind of evolve into this pass first, deep down, explosive play NFL. You do need a good safety, right? However, you got your corner. Like, this is someone, like, if Hamilton's here, I'd probably take him if I was the general manager. But this class is so shallow at receiver. Like, I'd have to see where they're picking in the second round. Because I don't know who's going to fall, man. Like, they need a Treylon Burks type player. They have Elijah Moore in the slot. They now need a perimeter player or, like, an intermediate level threat, kind of like Terry McLaurin is. Which is why I really like Jahan Dotson. But since we're not doing trades, I'm going to go with Hamilton. But I do want it to be said, like, I would heavily think about trading back or just taking Jameson Williams, Garrett Wilson, Treylon Burks, Dotson, London, or Pickens. Yeah, I love Pickens. I think Pickens is going to be really good. Literally the night before the national championship, I said, watch out for Pickens because he's going to flash tonight, and boom, like, he's back into the round 1 conversation. I don't care what anybody says. I love Pickens. Okay. Washington, Pickett's still on the board. Yeah, I'm going to go with Pickett. That offense is like that offense is so much more ready to compete than people realize. Like, they have had no quarterback. And this is no slight to Taylor Heineke. He's just not it, right? They need offensive tackle help bad because when Brandon Sheriff doesn't play, apparently the Washington there is a metric, a statistic out there that Washington has a 13% chance to win a football game. I don't know how that happens if you're missing one player, but it exists. Brandon Sheriff came back to start winning games again, so I guess it's true. They need tackle depth, but this is the first time since 2013, I believe, where they had Alfred Morris and Deshaun Jackson. How many of you remember Deshaun Jackson played for Washington? That they had a 1,000-yard receiver and a 1,000-yard rusher. They did it with no quarterback. Like, I'm telling you, man, like, Washington needs 2 things more than anything else. They need a quarterback and another freaking wide receiver. And, like, I'm not saying, like, oh, wide receivers are, like, you need wide receivers to win football games. But, like, not even for your quarterback, man. Like, get Terry McLaurin some help. It has nothing to do with who your quarterback is. Terry McLaurin is getting safety coverage over the top and cornerback 1 coverage, and he's still freaking eating. Like, get him some help. Let him work where he's not the only threat on your offense and see what he could do before you let him walk away unless you're going to throw a bag at him and ruin his career because you're never going to get him help. Like, you guys need a quarterback, a tackle, and a wide receiver more than anything in the... Like, again, like, if you're not sold on Pickett, if I'm not drafting Pickett here, like, yo, Jameson Williams is my pick, 100%. 100%. You're going to get someone who could take the top off and take the safety away from Terry McLaurin just by being alive and present on the football field. Like, yo. Like, you got to get a quarterback or a wide receiver if you're Washington, and you will compete. I'm telling you, like, Washington is so much better than people realize. I don't know if their coaching could get them there, but talent-wise, they're there. Like, I swear to God. I swear. Vikings at pick 7. I like corner here. I know a lot of people don't like when I say Danielle Hunter is injury-prone and you need to get edge help. Karlaftis is still here at 7. I'd probably take Karlaftis maybe, but if I would needed to address the secondary, and again, I've been saying this for weeks, and now it's rubber's meeting the road. Vikings cleaned house. I think they fired their GM. I forget if they did, but they cleaned house. Do they start rebuilding? Is my question. Kirk's contract's coming up to an end. You got a new head coach. You got free agents, big players leaving in free agency. Do you start the rebuild? And for me, luckily your O-line's in a decent spot. It's not great, but it's not horrible. You could take Kenyon Green if you want to do that, but I wouldn't do that. I would probably take a developmental piece, someone that's going to help us compete in a year or right away, in Andrew Booth. Andrew Booth's ball tracking skills and athleticism is why he's this high on the predictive board. Maybe you want to go Gardner instead, but I do really think, I know Gardner is going to be better right away, but if I'm making an investment pick, I would take Andrew Booth. Because I think that Booth, with the right coaching, he's going to be way better. He's going to be he's more athletic than Gardner. You can't teach athleticism. He's just, if you could get the best of that, you'll be all right. That's the corner you want, in my opinion. Could be wrong, though. Or you could disagree. 13 is the Browns. You got to get rid of Baker Mayfield, but if you're not, I'm taking a wide receiver, and that's James Williams. Let's not overthink it. You got to get the best wide receiver available. Hope to God Baker can make something happen. Personally, I don't know how you can't make anything happen with the situation you're in, but I'll listen to the argument of, they don't have receivers. They don't have receivers. Okay, but when you had receivers, you still couldn't make it work. So, Odell Beckham now has more catches in 6 weeks than he did in 3 years on the Browns. That's nobody's fault besides Baker Mayfield's. I don't care what anybody says. More touchdown catches. I think I said catches there. Anyway, I don't want to get on my tangent. Pick 14. And if you want a Baker Mayfield rant, just request it in the comments. And if it gets 100 likes, I'll do it. Pick 14. We got the Ravens. I think they need O-line help. Just to because you want to protect Lamar, but you want to give him the best holes to run through. But I think Karlaftis in an environment where they're going to put him in the best scenario to succeed at pick 14 to the Ravens, yeah. If Karlaftis is as good as the NFL thinks he is, and he goes to the Ravens, they're going to make him better. It's just what the Ravens do with people. I don't know how. They took Kevin Zeitler, who was the fringe best offensive lineman on the Giants and wasn't good, to an all-God team guard on the Ravens. I don't know how they do that. I don't get it. It's a factory for success. Pick 15 is the Eagles. Bummer Karlaftis just went off the board. Here's what I would do if I was the Eagles, right? Let me think about this. So this is actually interesting because I forgot about this. And sorry if I seem a little flat in this video. I've just been sick and I've been working really hard, so I'm a little bit tired. But I have been on the side of, you know what? Let's build around Hurts and find out what his limitations are. But being what Nick Sirianni did this season, and understood that Hurts is a quarterback who's going to complete 60% of his passes, 63 if Jalen Reagor catches the ball. Percent of his passes, which is still bad. We're just going to run the ball. And they went from, this is why I really like Nick Sirianni. He understood what his strengths were. He took a team that I forget where they ranked before week 6, but he went from, I believe, week 4 to week 6 to the number 1 rushing offense in the NFL. Nick Sirianni is a good coach, and I do believe that. And for his scheme, Jalen Hurts is going to help them run the ball effectively. Now, I think Nick Sirianni is setting up parameters for his offense because of the hand he has. If you give him, let's see which quarterbacks are left, just to look at it. Malik Willis, in my opinion, is a better athlete than Jalen Hurts. He has 98 broken tackles. In all of college football, it's the most. Out of any skill position, more broken tackles than Kenneth Walker, more broken tackles than Treylon Burks. Of anybody. Malik Willis has the most broken tackles. Dude is a freak athlete. And I love when Eagles fans are like, "Oh, Jalen Hurts could beat Deshaun Watson." No, you gotta be able to throw the ball to beat Deshaun Watson. Malik Willis can literally beat Deshaun Watson. To me, he kind of reminds me a little bit of Big Ben, and people are gonna be like, "What? Like, that doesn't make any sense." But Big Ben, mobile, tackle breaking machine, and an absolute nuke for an arm. That is Malik Willis. Now they have to learn to take Malik Willis and make him like a sniper with his arm, rather than just like a shotgun. I just want to say that because I don't know what I'm going to do at pick 19. It might be Malik Willis, but I think quarterback is back on the table for the Eagles. Just saying. And I think if you do trade Jalen Hurts, like there is a market for him, definitely. And I'm not trying to slight Jalen Hurts, but this was what I believed his limitations to be, and now they've come to fruition. But anyways. So, here's what we're going to do. We're going to go Walker, because I think he's similar to Ajabo, where he looked great in that national championship game against Alabama. Like, he was balling. And then we're going to go corner, and I'm going to take Ahmad Gardner. I think this is going to be a great matchup with Darius Slay. I like Roger McCreary, though, just because you get that coverage for the speedster type wide receiver. And I think that Roger McCreary is going to be able to keep up with anybody, but I think Ahmad Gardner is polished enough as a cornerback that he'll be all right. Tackle. Did something happen to Chargers tackle that I don't know about? Or are they just bad? Comment below. Also, I want to set up my Twitch so that we could do like a live Twitch, like a live draft where you guys make picks. That would be pretty cool. But that'll be down the road. Anyways, I mean, if they need a tackle, I gotta see why they're saying this, but Trevor Penning would be good on the Chargers. That's all I'm saying. That's where my brain would meet. Or Kenyon Green, like, damn. Chargers would just get back-to-back steals on the offensive line, Rashawn Slater and Green. Kind of like it, because Green could play anywhere on the offensive line besides center. But I think you guys need that run stopper. But again, Brandon Staley's good enough where it doesn't matter that you don't have a nose tackle. You can still stop the run. So I don't know. I guess this would be best player available. I like Jordan Davis. I've been doing it a lot, and I think everybody has. But I'm kind of at the point where I keep doing things, and I keep thinking I'm doing it first, and then I'll like literally walk away that week and see everybody have done it, and I'm like, are we all just either on the same brain? Like first, like Evan Neal, I thought I was so clever with that, and then I literally finish editing the video, put that out there, go about my day, and I pull out my phone at lunch, and it's like Evan Neal, #1 pick on every single mock draft. I'm like, what the heck? So now I'm saying, screw it, dude. I'm doing what I gotta do. But with this, if I wasn't taking, I want to know why they say tackle before I do anything else. But 18, that's an easy one. Garrett Wilson. You got to get Michael Thomas some help. Jameis Winston's fine. You don't need a quarterback. Here, I think I'm going to do it. I think I'm going to take Malik Willis. Like, you have someone who has a bigger arm than Hurts. That is non-art. Like, in my brain, Malik Willis is a bigger, faster, stronger Jalen Hurts. I don't think that's really an argument. If you've watched him play and you watch Hurts play, like, you have Hurts and then you have bigger, stronger, faster Hurts. Like, if you watched, if anybody's watching Book of Boba Fett, you have Black Krrsantan and then Chewbacca. Black Krrsantan is just a bigger Chewbacca. Like, I don't know. I'm a weird guy. Anyway, pick 20. I'm going to go Kenyon Green. I think that you got to make Najee Harris' life as easy as possible. Wait, is Corral still on the board? No, he's gone. Okay, cool. Okay, hello. Thank you. I think you got to make Najee Harris' life as easy as possible. And with how bad the Steelers' offensive line is, Green, you could put him anywhere. You could be like, all right, play left guard, right tackle, left tackle. Just can't play center. And for a team like the Steelers, I think that's going to be very, very useful, especially with big question marks at QB. So with that, I really think receiver cost receiver play cost the Patriots. Now, not taking anything away from the Bills. Bills played the first perfect game in history. But I am saying, maybe if they had, I can't say if they had, because it's not, we don't know. But maybe if they had Traylon Burks, Olave, Dotson, London, Pickens, or someone like that, some of those passes get caught that were dropped. Because there was a bunch of passes that Mac Jones was putting it on the numbers, and people were just like, how do my hands work? Like, I don't understand. Like, there was that one play, the touchdown pass that got picked off. That was a dot. But if any of you play sports, you all know nothing you could do against a good play. That was a great play by the safety. Great play by the safety. I'm trying to remember his name. I can't remember anybody's names. But this is how I am in real life. Like, I'm really good at faces, not names. But anyway, I'm going Burks. Yo, you drafted N'Keal Harry for a reason. It didn't work out. Now get someone who could actually be N'Keal Harry that you want. You want to be N'Keal Harry. That's how I look at Traylon Burks when I am putting him in a Pat's point of view. Okay. Raiders. Again, I have no idea what the Raiders are going to do. I've been talking about this for a while, too. You don't know if Derek Carr's coming back. You don't know if, well, now you know Mike Mayock's gone. They said they're not promoting Bisaccia, which I think is kind of a slap in the face. I think he definitely deserves it, and I think he's proved more than anything he deserves it. The car crash, the gun videos, Gruden, and y'all made the playoffs. Yeah, you lost, but you made the playoffs. I don't know, man. I think with the offensive line, like, you got to take an offensive lineman. And I'm taking Trevor Penning. So hopefully he could help out, what's his face? Alex Leatherwood. And he can play right tackle or left tackle. He's a mammoth of a man. He's 6'7", I think, right? Yeah, 6'7". God, it's massive. That is, like, literally over a foot taller than me. Anyway. Pick 23 is the Ravens. I think you got a good corner. Like, you can't draft a head coach. You desperately need, like, if any of you ever get the chance to go back and to listen to my podcast from this season, I had to stop because of work. But, like, yo, the only reason I said the Cardinals would not make it in the playoffs is because freaking Cliff Kingsbury. And he does some dumb stuff. I'm not going to use the poopy word, but my boy Red Sea sent me this, dude. There's snaps of linebackers. They played Isaiah Simmons 32% of that game. 32% of the snaps. In a playoff game. That's your first round pick from a few years ago. Like, what are you doing? And I get, like, Cliff Kingsbury just does the offense or whatever, and then the other guy does the defense. I forget his name. But you're not the offensive coordinator. You're the head coach. You need to be, like, overseeing, like, at some point I would hope to God you'd be like, you either had a conversation and, even worse in my opinion, said, okay, like, yeah, let's not play Simmons this game. Or you went, hey, yo, guy, why is Simmons not on the field? Like, how you let your first-round pick not play in a playoff? This is why Cliff Kingsbury doesn't win anything. Like, he just... Oh, my God. What a waste. Like, the poor Cardinals. What a waste, man. What a waste. Edge, also, thank God Buda Baker's okay. That was really, really, really scary of a hit. It was more scary for me the roll he did afterwards. Oh, my gosh, his neck. I couldn't imagine. Pick 24. Got the Dallas Cowboys. Oh, my God, the Dallas Cowboys are so bad. It's just so funny they do. Yo, I've been tweeting this. I'm gassing it up. I don't care if I want all the smoke on this. Dak Prescott is Kirk Cousins. You can't change my mind. He is Kirk Cousins. Monster numbers, dominates the NFC East, wins games that don't matter, and then just crumbles against 500 teams. Crumbles. Absolutely deteriorates, explodes, dies, like, against over 500 teams. Like, he is so lucky. The talent, the QB talent, situations in the NFC East. Because if the rumors are true and the Giants trade for Deshaun Watson, like, oh my God, you will never hear about the Cowboys again. I don't care. Like, Deshaun Watson will be like if a time traveler came to, like, the Stone Age with all of this technology. Like, that's how far along Watson will be in that division compared to Hurts, Heineke, and Dak Prescott. Like, oh my gosh. Dak Prescott is not elite. I don't care what anybody says. He's just not. I'm so tired of hearing about it. One of my biggest pet peeves as I follow sports is overrated and underrated. Like, Dak Prescott is probably one of the most overrated players in football. Like, he loses a tackle and they just go on a losing streak. He loses a wide receiver. He's not putting up the same numbers. He doesn't play the NFC East. You just lose games. Like, I think Dak Prescott's win percentage, I saw this number. When he doesn't have 100 yards rushing and is playing a team over 500, I think his win percentage is like .150, which is horrendous. Horrendous. But anyways, I digress. I think you guys need a corner as well. Trent McDuffie's still on the board. I think we're going to roll with him. I think just like, you guys are lucky Jimmy Garoppolo sucks and did not put that game away. Ayuk embarrassed Trayvon. Like, Trayvon Diggs might still be looking for Brandon Ayuk on that route. Being honest. Like, that was horrible. Horrible, dude. Bro, I actually think Trayvon Diggs ran to the other hash before he realized where Brandon Ayuk was. I have to go back and watch the tape as head coach speak. But, God, dude, that was bad. That was so bad. Holy crap. Anyway, Daniel Falele is moving up boards. So is Bernhard Raymond. I'm starting to question Nicky P, if I'm being honest. But someone I'm a little bit more confident in than those guys is Zion Johnson or Darian Kinnard. I really do like the upside of Bernhard Raymond because I think the story goes he played QB, switched to tight end, and then switched to tackle. He's only been playing tackle for 1 year, and he moved from Austria. Huge amounts of upside for this kid. Huge amounts. But if you want the sure bet, if you want to go interior offensive line, I'd go Zion Johnson. I also like Darian Kinnard because he has the reps at tackle. But we're going to get spicy here, and we're going to take... Damn, so many people are on the board. That's the one thing I really don't like about the Draft Network. Maybe we'll do a mock draft on Bleacher Report. Is how slow this thing is to update. Like, they had Ike Mekwonu in, like, the 40s when I did my first mock draft, which is... Oh, my God. Like... But I'm going to go with Falele here. I saw it in the TDN's mock to mock, which I actually really liked by Dan Marino. That was the first mock draft, and I'm being completely honest with this. That was the first mock draft I actually really liked. Just because there was just a few dumb picks in there. But every one I see is just for clicks. Like, it just doesn't make any sense at all. Wow, this Dolphins pick has flew back. Dude, like 2 weeks ago, it was up here. Wow. Anyway, pick 16, or 26, my bad. With the tackle and the offense, so this is what I've been saying about the Dolphins. I think it's true. I've heard multiple Dolphins fans say this, and I agree with them. One of them being Broshbo. I think if anybody knows what the Dolphins need, it's him. They need an offensive lineman who's ready to play now, not a developmental piece. And if they want to address guard, I think you go Zion Johnson or Darian Kinnard because, again, Darian Kinnard is playing right tackle at Kentucky, and he could play tackle at the next level. But for the tackles on the board, like, you go Nicky P. I don't know if I would take Bernhard Raymond yet over Nicky P, but that's where the trend in my brain is going. And with that much uncertainty, and I know that there's so much depth at offensive line in this draft. Tyler Vrabel, freaking Mike Vrabel's son, is in this class. Son of Tennessee Titans head coach Mike Vrabel. That's just funny. I would go receiver. Every receiver is basically still on the board. And the one I really like for the Dolphins is Dotson, because I don't trust Tua's deep ball ability yet. I know he's dealt a pretty crappy hand, but like just looking at how Waddle was used with Mac Jones at Alabama, conversely to how they're using Tua in Miami, they've completely removed a portion of Waddle's game, and I do believe it's by design. Now, I would hear out the argument of, well, Brian Flores struggled to develop the offense and kept it sputtering for a while. But I do think Brian Flores is a good coach and knew what he had in Tua. And I think that he didn't want to gamble the turnover margin having Tua throw downfield all that many times. So with all that, I'm going to go with Dotson. I really like Dotson, and I'm afraid that they're going to use Drake London like they do at USC right now, which is a lot of wide receiver screens, stupid stuff where, like, dude is a contested catch monster and they don't throw him any jump balls. It's like Kenny Galladay and the Giants. Like, it doesn't make any sense. Pick 27 is the Bills. We're going to go with the guard here. Devin Singletary's like low-key popping off. They're definitely going to draft a running back, but not here. I mean, unless you want to go like Kenneth Walker, but dude, I got to do so much. Now that fantasy's starting to pick up, I got to figure out which running backs I want. Someone who I think is going to be a stud, and I've done like minimal research. Where is he at? Wait, did he is he going back to school? I guess so. Zach Charbonnet. I guess he's going back to school because he's not on here. That kid's going to be a stud. I'm telling you right now. But anyway, sorry for that side note. I'm going to go with Kennard here. Well, see, I don't know why. So zone run scheme, like that's not what the Bills do. See, this is why I like. He's built for pass-heavy offenses. Now, again, like this is what they're doing at college. They're going to be coached to do whatever they do. Like, really, in my opinion, scouts really need to start looking for, like, can this cat play? And what can't we teach him? Like, in terms of physicality, right? Because if Zion Johnson's a better athlete, he's going to be coached into being a great, great pass blocker. Like, it's just going to happen. But I'm just giving my thoughts. I think it has to be guard. I'm going to go with Kennard just because of the flexibility to tackle in case anything happens. Lions at pick 18. We didn't go a single linebacker? That's crazy. I guess just none of these teams, like if I were to switch anything, I probably would have took one at least to the Eagles. But it's just how the board fell. Actually, shoot, I should have took one to Dallas. Dang. Oh, well, next time. Because Dallas does need another linebacker. And if they got Micah Parsons and Devin Lloyd, it'll be like Dr. Evil and Mini-Me. Like, it's the same player, just one's tinier. Pick 28 is Lions. Where am I? Oh, yeah. I just don't like Chris Olave. I can't explain it. I just don't. Like, he's just a wide receiver 2 to me. That's why, like, he is just a 2 to me, right? Whereas these other kids are like, London could be a 1. We've seen Michael Pittman turn into a 1. They're the same player. Pickens could be a 1. Dotson is carrying Penn State on his back. Like, everybody else I've drafted that is a wide receiver can be a 1. Williams could be a 1. Garrett Wilson could be a 1. Burks could be a 1. Dotson could be a 1. Pickens, I'm taking Pickens. Yeah, I'm on the Pickens hype train. He's just like a smaller DK Metcalf to me. Like, he's freaking huge. Yeah, he's 6'3". Never mind. Someone told me he was 6 foot, and I was like, no way. Yeah, Pickens. Do you realize, like, Pickens was falling because of his ACL? That's it? That's it? Like, look at Davis Mills. Oh, knee concerns. Let's not draft him. He's one of the best rookie quarterbacks in the class. Like, on the Texans. Like, everybody wants to give Mac Jones credit, like, oh, he's on the best team in the league out of all the rookies that got drafted. Zach Wilson's on the Jets. Trevor Lawrence is on the Jaguars. Yeah, like, let's look at this draft order real quick. Davis Mills is on the Texans. And he has better numbers than all of them. I'm just saying, like, people don't use context all the time, and then they just end up shooting themselves in the foot about it. All right, so with how the Chiefs are playing, I was gonna say they don't need defense, but like I think Jermaine Johnson, like the dude in Dan Marino's draft, he took Jermaine Johnson to the Eagles, and I actually really like that pick. Not that high, but I think Jermaine Johnson might test that high. I think his talent's there. We just got to see how he grades out. Like, I think if I didn't go edge, I'd go wide receiver if I was the the Chiefs. For the Bucs, on the other hand, I am going to go receiver just because of how the corner board fell out. Just Kaiir Elam's the last person I'd probably take this early. I still really like Elam, but with Godwin potentially being gone, with Evans being old, and Antonio Brown being a psychopath, we're going to take Drake London. I think this is like Mike Evans reincarnated, especially if you get him to train under Mike Evans. It would be like, to give another Star Wars reference, it's like Obi-Wan and Anakin. It's like the same. Actually, that's a bad reference. I don't know, but you get my point. It'd be like if like you from the future trained young you. If you time traveled. A lot of time travel going on in this video. All right. Well, the Titans need a linebacker. They've both been gone by the time I got here. We're going to go to Nakobe Dean. I think he's just better. Both are great. I just think my biggest concern with Dean isn't play. It's his size. That's it. So I'm going to take the better athlete. Oh, God. We're going to do something crazy here because I can't watch Jordan Love take another snap. Well, I think the Packers would just trade for a quarterback. I don't think they'd play this QB game in the draft. We're going to take DeMarvin Leal. He fell really far in this draft. Yeah, he fell really far in this draft. But anyway, guys, this is mock drafts. I think 10. Kind of losing count. Been really distracted with work. Please, I want to remind you guys, hit me up on Instagram. Talk to me. You call me an idiot there. It's fine. I'll treat you with kindness and respect. I just want to know why you're calling me an idiot. And that's fine. I may still disagree with you, but I at least need to know why. But anyway, guys, that's going to do it for this video. I'll catch you in the next one. Stay safe. Stay away from the snow. And that's going to do it for the video. Peace!